The final weekend of regular season play in FCS football, and wouldn't you know it, the Missouri Valley Conference title and an automatic bid to the playoffs is on the line. Number 4, South Dakota State. Number 2, North Dakota State, squaring off here to end this regular season. Brian Shawn and Lee Timmerman with you. And LT, over the years, we've had a lot of memorable matchups between these two, and all the uncertainty this spring, but this brings back a little more certainty. These two teams playing meaningful football late in the season.
It doesn't seem like a big surprise that here we go again, other than the fact we're playing in the spring, but the fact that we're playing for a conference championship and all the playoff things that go with it, I'm not surprised.
These two teams are the two top rushing teams in the Missouri Valley, each averaging about 220 yards a game on the ground. And yes, special teams, turnovers, all those things matter in a game like this, but ultimately, likely going to be one up front between the offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah, Jason Eck is the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach for South Dakota State, and he was saying that in his time in Brookings, this is the best offensive line that the Jacks have had. Well, 392 yards, I guess, against Southern Illinois might prove that right. And for NDSU, we know that the Bison have lived on the ground, and to be successful, they have to be that again today on the ground. Offensive line must get it done for NDSU as well.
South Dakota State has not played in a month. North Dakota State's 32-game home winning streak also on the line here today. The last loss coming 1,583 days ago to James Madison in the 2016 playoffs. The Jackson Bison are coming up next.
Get your horns out! Yeah, you can hear the herd coming, baby, like it or not. We've been waiting while tailgating in the parking lot. Now that clock is ticking down, the boys are ready to go. The energy in here's electric. Let's get on with the show. Get your horns up. The green and gold are back in town. Get your horns up. Pumped up and ready to throw down. Toss that coin up in the air. Bring the boys up to the line. Hold your horns up high because it's Bison time.
Shields is a proud sponsor of NDSU Athletics. Shields is your Bison headquarters. Shop the exclusive Coaches Collection in-store and online at shields.com. The 6-1 Bison, the 4-1 Jackrabbits getting set to do battle here today. Number 2 against number 4 in the nation to close out this regular season before the FCS 16-team playoff field is selected tomorrow morning. John Stiegelmeier, boy, he's been doing this for a while. In his 24th year already as head of the Jackrabbits.
And Stig is it's his alma mater. He's a 1979 grad of SDSU and a winning record in 19 of his 23 previous years as the Jackrabbits head coach.
Let's take a look at the North Dakota State, South Dakota State quarterback comparison, sponsored by the North Dakota Beef Commission, funded by beef farmers and ranchers. There's a look at Mark Gronowski, likely recruited out of Naperville, Illinois. His only D1 offer was to SDSU, and he's done a nice job engineering this offense in his true freshman season.
Yeah, we were told his only other offer was from Division II Quincy. Well, the Jacks are glad that he decided to come to the FCS part of it here. He goes 6'3", 200, looks a lot bigger than that, and runs bigger than that as well.
On the other side, Zeb Noland, 6'2", 224 out of Watkinsville, Georgia. As we talked about in the pregame show, LT, only 8 completions last week, but for 151 yards, including the 61-yard strike late in the first half to Christian Watson. When he's been able to connect downfield, it's made North Dakota State very explosive.
As the season has gone on, I think Zeb has gotten more comfortable with just taking it, seeing it, and throwing it, not worried too much about it. Go make a play.
Garrett Wegner boots this one away deep. 3 yards deep, and a knee is taken. And the Jackrabbits will start at the 25-yard line. There's a look at Gronowski and the Jack offense. Offensive line's done a nice job. Johnson, Janant, Lickis all have some experience back there. McCormick, the newcomer they really like, and then Garrett Greenfield, 2-time Missouri Valley Offensive Lineman of the Week as well. at right tackle.
You might remember McCormick last year as a backup center had some play a little bit in that first game against the Bison, his first game, but him taking over that left guard spot kind of helped solidify this offensive line. And again, it's a line that Coach Eck really likes.
Jacks have had a month to get ready for this game. We'll see how they come out here to start. Karnowski dropping back, going to air it out deep. Yankee is open, and it's batted away at the last moment. Dawson Weber make a play on the football as the Jackrabbits go deep on the opening play.
Well, you show what is the favorite play, kind of a mid-zone off to the left. Gronowski puts it on his hip, boots around, and now this ball hangs in the air for a very long time, and Dawson Weber is happy it does. Look at that ground that Weber had to cover in order to meet the ball the same time it got to the receiver. And they go to Jaden Yankee, his brother Jackson, kind of more known as the downfield guy. So a little bit of trickery maybe right off the bat for SDSU. But those are plays that neither team has probably seen before on tape.
Pitch out here to Strong, and nice strong run here for Strong. Puts his shoulder down and lunges across the 30 to the 31, and that'll bring up 3rd and 4. Let's take a look at the North Dakota State starting defensive unit, sponsored by Shields. Front four has been pretty good. Lane Tucker, Wagee, Ching, McCormick. You'll see a lot of different guys up front for NDSU. Most are really coming on here the last couple of weeks. Hankey, Kaiser, Jasir Cox, 3 starting linebackers, and Michael Tutsi, most experienced in the secondary. Dawson Weber back there with Talbert and Jaden Price.
I don't think it's a stretch to maybe see 11 defensive linemen play today for NDSU.
Delayed handoff. Strong not able to get to the first down marker, a couple of yards short at the 28 as the Bison swallow him up.
Well,
James Kaiser got in there.
Yeah, in the pregame show, we talked about those cutback angles. Well, they took it away. The Bison took it away from Strong right there.
That's the
It's a Shield starting lineup from the defense for the Jackrabbits that'll be ready to go out on the field here after this punt. Now, if you're going to take special teams into account, which obviously you have to, NDSU this year, way better special teams-wise than SDSU.
Tinkle on for his first punt. Ball bounces at the 30 and will trickle out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And that is only the second time this spring that South Dakota State has not scored on its opening drive. The Jackrabbits have been really good, jumping on opponents early. Did not score the first points at SIU, fell behind 3-0, but then scored 44 straight.
Yeah, scored the next 44 because that was the final score, 44-3. Watch for pad level. The Bison want that pad level underneath the chin of the Jackrabbit defensive line.
Get inside, not much room to run. Boy, Jack did a nice job stacking things up. Logan Backus was the one that really stood up Hunter Lukey after a gain of 1. Handoff again. Lukey kept his feet this time and able to get across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Tetzlaff got in there along with others. Don Gardner, Adam Bach, and as we've seen, Hunter Lukey here the last couple of weeks. Tough guy to bring down even on first contact.
Yeah, especially a kid like Lukey. You have to tackle him in waves. Nodak Insurance Company replay. First wave, pretty good from SDSU, but then Lukey gets the hand down, is able to keep that momentum going. Big kid. He goes about they list him at 245 pounds, and we've seen, especially in that UND game, that he can bust it with speed. Jackrabbits 3rd down, didn't make it. NDSU's first crack at 3rd down, right now.
3rd and 3. Play action for Nolan. Fires on the out, and he's off target looking for Noah Gindorf. Manchagaya in on coverage, and it's a 3 and out for each offense here to start.
I think Gindorf had the space he needed to catch the ball, but we saw it wasn't a catchable ball. He was able to get up kind of in the body of Manchagaya, break to the outside. That slot or that window was open, but the ball didn't hit it.
Jackson Yankee Back at his own 20-yard line as Garrett Wegner will get his first opportunity here today.
During warmups, Brian and I were both looking at Jackson Yankee and going, man, he looks a lot bigger, stronger than he did the last time we saw him.
This will bounce at the 22 and is down right there by Kaiser. And we will step aside. A couple of 3-and-outs for each offense. The Jackrabbits will have it for the second time when we return. Scoreless on the Egg Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard, just getting started here at the Fargo Dome. Gronowski in the offense, back out on the field here, starting this drive at the 23. And here's a look at the South Dakota State offensive unit, sponsored by Shields. Here's Strong, Canyon Bauer, the two Yankee twins, although one is 1 inch taller than the other. How does that work?
Because they're 1 inch taller.
Gronowski to throw as a man open, a little bit behind Yankee, but he makes the catch and slips away. Jaden Yankee across midfield down to the Bison 49.
Oh, when Dom Jones whiffs on the tackle, it's all the way to the near side, and so there is no immediate safety help. Little break on the outside. There's where Jones is trying to go maybe for the big play. He just needs to bring him down. Doesn't have to look pretty. He whiffs, and that allows SDSU to get all the way up to midfield.
28 yards on the pass completion. Another little screen out in the flat. It's Yankee again. Oh, what a great move. Kaiser came back to make the tackle after 10 more yards on that pickup to the 39-yard line.
Tucker Kraft, one of the tight ends, was out there in that formation as well. Nodak Insurance Company replay. Zips it off to his left. You see 85, that's Kraft. He does a really good job to take care of Destin Talbot, it looked like. And then the Jacks pick up the other first down.
Well, Michael Tutsi got juked pretty good there that time by Jaden Yankee. A couple of catches there for the young sophomore out of Madison, South Dakota. Play action again. Dropped off, and this one out of the reach of Jackson Yankee. Kaiser there in coverage. Will bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, Tutsi came on a blitz to the wide side of the field, and so as a quarterback, you have a tendency, or you really want to, your hot read is back into where the blitz came from. Nodak Insurance Company replay as we take a look at Yankee, and the defense was in there in pretty good position, but Gronowski just simply did not have much time. He got to the top of his drop, and he needed to get rid of that ball.
Now, David Braun, the defensive coordinator from North Dakota State, LT, telling us this is a group on NDSU. This team wants to be aggressive. Don't be surprised to see a lot of pressures here called this afternoon. Quarterback run. This is something Gronowski has shown the ability to do here in recent weeks, and he gains 14 yards to the 25-yard line and a Jackrabbit first down.
One interesting thing there, I think, from a Bison perspective is Spencer Wagee, just off to the left of your screen. He would normally crash hard to try to stop quarterback run, but Gronowski's so good that Wagee knows he can't let him pop to the outside on his side, and so when he was trailing the play, maybe not quite as hard as he normally would because of Gronowski's ability to come to his side, ran the other way and picked up the first.
Gronowski across the middle, right in stride to his intended target, and a touchdown for Coons, his big tight end.
Nodak Insurance Company replay, the run fake, and that is a beautiful pass right over the top of the linebacker, inside the defender. A word that I was told by the people from South Dakota over and over that I talked with today about Gronowski, moxie was a term that was used to describe him. Same term that when Trey Lance was doing things early in his career at NDSU, people said the same thing about Trey. He just gets it. A quarterback that understands what's happening.
25 yards on the connection as Fromm boots through the extra point. And the Jacks go right down the field on their second drive. Gronowski 63 yards passing already with the touchdown. And it's 7-0 SDSU on the Egg Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. Back to the Fargo Dome. 10:07 to go in the opening quarter. Matt Entz Good start to his head coaching career, 22-1 at North Dakota State. South Dakota State off to the fast start. After going 3 out on its opening drive, they go to the air, and Gronowski makes the Bison pay on the 25-yard touchdown pass to Blake Kuntz, his first reception of the spring. And it's a big one on the touchdown at 8 receptions in 2019, 20 the year before that.
Well, the Jackrabbits aggressive we've seen through the air over the middle of the field. We'll keep an eye and see if they continue with that.
Christian Watson returned one 100 yards last week in Northern Iowa, going to get an opportunity here. Watson trying to get to the outside and eventually forced out of bounds right at about the 34-yard line. And listen up, fans, it's time for a Bison Fun Fact brought to you by Gate City Bank. Did you know that Bison athletes love their chocolate milk? Over 2,000 gallons of it are served at the Gate City Bank fueling station over the course of an athletic year.
I like my chocolate milk too.
Boy, I know that. And here comes Cam Miller to start this drive at quarterback, the young freshman out of Solon, Iowa. Only got about 1 series last week at Northern Iowa, but again, the quarterback running game may be more in the game plan this week, and you see it here. And he gets tripped up. Nowhere to go, and a loss of a yard. Take a look at the scoring recap. 5 plays, 77 yards, and 146. Bobcat scoring recap.
And that touchdown pass was really a thing of beauty. He put it in a very, very, very small window.
Dyshawn Gales was the guy that came in from his corner spot to make that tackle. Miller's going to put it in the air and now might scramble. Gets away from one man, and then Gales sticks him at the 35. Cade Tavere also putting some pressure on, and that'll bring up 3rd and long.
Nodak Insurance Company replay, a quick check to the right. Nothing open there. Actually covered on the near side too. And 2 plays in a row, Gales is in on the tackle.
NDSU coming into this game 39% on 3rd down, 5 of 12 last week at Northern Iowa. Here come the Jacks. Miller hanging in there, fires. Watson is open at midfield. Steps out of a tackle and tiptoes out of bounds at the 30-yard line, and a big 3rd down pickup for NDSU.
Oh yeah, clap, young man. This is nice. The pressure percentage from South Dakota State is not great. Only about 20% of the plays are they bringing it. But on 3rd and long, here they come. So when you blitz that many people, it is a one-on-one. And you will take Christian Watson one on anyone that South Dakota State has. That is a matchup the Bison love. They do not believe that number 1 can be covered today without extra help. Miller stood in there in the face of that blitz and delivered the first down.
Watson, 229 all-purpose yards last week, the Missouri Valley Player of the Week. And here's Hunter Lupke rumbling ahead for 5 yards. Tripped up by Adam Bach.
Here's the best push that the Bison offensive line has had today. Beautiful job here. And the one that caught my eye was Jalen Sundell. He had a nice pancake. Oh, that's Zay Grable, or Gray Zabel. Gray, the freshman from Pierre.
Young man that has really come on here the last month or so this spring, was inserted into the starting lineup, has done a nice job. As they take a look, it looks like a knee. We will step aside, 7:48 to go. 2nd and 5 for the Bison at the Jackrabbit 25 when we return. Gray Zabel, it looked like an ankle as they were taking a peek out on the sideline. Had to be helped off, not really putting any weight on that, LT. Not a good sign for him to return today.
No, not at all. The left ankle is what they were working at. It's the tail end of the play. Lupke getting up off the pile. Zach Kubis in at right guard.
Miller stacked up at the line again. Tetzlaff first there, finished off by Bach. And it's a loss of a yard. We'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Well, the defensive line group for South Dakota State is the best group that they have on this side of the ball. And one of the things that Coach Stiegelmeier said is that, hey, we need to put more money into the defensive line. And he looks up north. He sees what NDSU has done with that superior depth and tried to emulate it. Right now, South Dakota State has 9 guys on the defensive line that will play today.
Gonna give it to Luebke. Stumbling ahead before he is turned back after a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 4th and 3. We'll see what Matt Entz elects to do here. Reinholz will come out. 4 of 5 on the season. Did miss a 32-yarder last week at UNI. This will be about a 41-yard attempt. Reinhold's career long is 42. Snap good, down. Reinholz gets a boot to it, and it is good. Bison on the board, 7-3 with 6:18 to go. Let's pause for a quick word from the Bank of North Dakota.
Whether you're a parent, grandparent, friend, or family member, College Save is the perfect gift for your pride and joy. Now with more qualified withdrawals and $25 contributions, there's no reason to wait to help save for your pride and joy.
South Dakota State still maintaining the lead after North Dakota State got the big passing play to Watson. That covered 35 yards. Able to get a stop.
But important, obviously, to have an answer in some form of points on that particular drive, which is what NDSU was able to do. It comes away with the field goal.
Number 8, Jordan Meacham, and number 22.
Jordan Meacham back deep for South Dakota State with Isaiah Davis, another true freshman out there for the Jacks out of Joplin, Missouri. This one booted towards the middle, and for a moment it looked like Davis was going to bring it out, then thought better of it, and the Jacks will start at the 25 again.
Well, he actually has to rely on Meacham, the other guy back there, because when you're looking at the ball, you're not really caring where you are at that particular moment. So it's the other guy back there that has to tell you and inform you, hey, stay where you're at.
See what Jason Eck dials up here, the offensive coordinator for South Dakota State. Got the Bison off balance on the last drive.
They certainly did with some good stuff through the air, but Davis is getting his first crack at running back in there for Strong. That's the rotation, those two.
2 tight ends out there as well. And there's Davis trying to cut it outside. Kaiser, first one to meet him before help comes, and a gain of 2. And we've really seen, philosophically, South Dakota State over the years offensive line, more of just kind of a shielding, getting in front of you. This is a group that wants to maul you and get downfield a little bit more now, LT.
It's a 180-degree different approach if you talk about. Remember 5 wide with Taryn Christian, the quarterback, running all over, throwing all over. This is an in-the-huddle, methodical approach to the offense for Jason Eck, which is much different now with this group of talent he has.
Jasir Cox coming in to make the tackle. Nice gain of 5 that time by the youngster Davis. Will bring up 3rd and 3. Another guy, Isaiah Davis, state player of the year, 4,300 yards in Missouri. His only D1 offer was to SDSU. These true freshmen, these guys they find are contributing, and not a lot of other guys were on them.
My question was why? Why wasn't a kid who's the Gatorade Player of the Year in your state from Joplin, right down the road from Missouri State? Well, doesn't make sense.
Johnson again has a first down. Nice strong run. And picks up a bunch to the 43-yard line.
Well, those 3 run plays, off tackle, basically an off tackle to the right, not much there. The play in the middle worked. Now it's off tackle to the left. So, you know, and I didn't notice any crazy blocking schemes. So those are real basic kind of approach. Let's see how our offensive line is going to handle things, plays, those first 3 plays on this drive.
Play action this time. Gronowski stepping out of trouble, and he's got some room to run on the outside. In Bison territory, down to 37 before he is taken down. And Gronowski making plays with his legs here this afternoon.
Well, Destin Talbert missed. Here's a corner blitz coming from the high side. You'll see it's number 6 zip in there. Well, he misses, and once he misses, obviously there's no outside contain anymore. And then Spencer Wagey's just running from behind once again. They're running away from Wagey, it appears, and finding success right now.
Jackson Hankey had to run a long way to make that tackle. And the Jackrabbits in business once again. Strong back in at tailback. Falls ahead after a gain of about 4 yards.
Pretty good late pre-snap movement, I think, by NDSU. They slid over and then double A-gapped right to the right side of the offensive formation, and that's where Strong was trying to run. So no big hole was going to open there, and he just kind of felt his way and worked his way to that 4-yard pickup.
Already 128 total offensive yards for SDSU in this opening quarter. Strong getting away from one man, but there's a green wall in front of him and a loss of 4 back to the 37.
Logan McCormick, one of the first guys there. Here's the handoff. Here comes McCormick. Hazer also in on that play early.
Boy, that football almost came loose. Strong juggled it there for just a moment. That'll bring up 3rd and 10. Gronowski looking maybe to set up a screen. Now running out of trouble. Chased out of bounds and taken out of bounds. And another loss to about the 41-yard line, and that'll likely bring up a punting situation here for SDSU.
Well, you were spot on there, Brian. They're trying to set up the screen over the middle, and it was sniffed out. The Bison had it covered and covered very, very well. But the freshman, the true freshman, did the right thing. Eat it. Live to play another day. Did not try to force it in there, potentially with a turnover or anything like that. Bison will I guess lose the field position battle, if you will, on this particular drive from SDSU. It won't end up in points, but the Jacks will put NDSU in a long field.
Oh, somebody jumped early there for SDSU. Yeah. Push the ball back to the 46.
Graham Spalding, I think, is the one who jumped.
NDSU is going to change personnel here, I think, get more of their punt return unit instead of their base defense on the field. Now
the officials are going to huddle. Art Brown's going to bring a few of his guys in.
Art Brown, your referee today from the Valley.
The man in the white hat, he's the guy in charge.
Be loud, okay? Be loud.
It is 4th down. The clock will start on my signal.
In the back of your mind, you have to go when you're playing against NDSU. Watson had a kickoff return, long one. Price had a long punt return.
Dinkle hangs this one up. Price calls for the fair catch and makes it just outside the 10-yard line. Let's pause for a quick word from Advanced Business Methods.
Trust Advanced Business Methods for all your print and document solutions. From multifunctional printers to managed print, ABM has the experience to keep your work flowing. Contact us today to advance your business.
Cam Miller will remain in the game at quarterback for NDSU. Nolan had the first series, now Cam the last 2. 3 receivers to the near side of your screen here on 1st and 10. Hofstad motions back. Quarterback run again for Miller. Not a lot of room to run. Spalding there to make the tackle after a pickup of just a couple.
You can tell how big the pile was. Look at how long it takes before everybody can get up off of it.
We've seen South Dakota State rotating a lot of different guys in as well. Sanders and Krolikowski, Hicks, Winkleman, yeah, they will get a lot, but we'll see Ogurnday, we'll see Stacker. I think we saw Xavier Ward out there on the last drive for SDSU. Tervier, another walk-on from Brandon, South Dakota. And there's a look at Backus. Play action. Miller throwing and overshooting his intended target. And that'll bring up 3rd and long. He's looking for Hunter Brosio, the fullback.
Nodak Insurance Company replay on the play fake, trying to sneak Brosio out to the right. There's Miller getting flushed just a little bit. There was a player, I didn't catch the number, that had real good inside position on Brosio. Hunter does have 2 receptions on the year. Another 3rd and long situation. Bison pulled it off on the last drive.
Miller hanging in there, fires, and it's caught. Cole Jacob makes the catch at the 20 and taken down by Don Gardner up at the 27.
I always think, Brian, the true test of arm strength is far hash on an out. And he was able to get the ball there in a perfect catchable position. Really good. That's, you step into that throw and you let it rip, because when you're on the far hash and you're throwing a 10-yard out near side, when you know pressure's coming and you absorb the nice contact, that's a real good job by the freshman.
Well, 2 big throws on 3rd and long there for Cam Miller. Was a newcomer of the week in the Valley for his play against Illinois State last month. Watson lining up at tailback's going to get the carry. Nice job by Bach, tracking him from behind, taking down the speedy Watson after a gain of 6.
Yeah, Adam Bach, number 32, he's the guy that, if you want to call it, replaces Rosaboom, but he's in that position and is able to show off a little bit of speed right there. It was kind of him and Spalding earlier, but he won the job.
South Dakota State started the scoring. Nice touchdown drive on the 25-yard touchdown pass to Blake Coons. North Dakota State responds with a field goal, and we'll have 2nd and 4 when we return after the first quarter of play at 7-0 Jacks here at the Fargo Dome. Shields is your Bison headquarters. Shop the exclusive Coaches Collection in-store and online at shields.com. First play of the second quarter, 2nd and 4, North Dakota State trailing 7-3. Hunter Lupke gets the call, and he pushes the pile ahead across the yard marker to the 38-yard line, and enough for an NDSU first down. Adam Bach went for a little ride there, trying to make that tackle.
Little zone blocking, Nodak Insurance Company replay, a little double team on the nose. Tetzloff gets caught inside, can't flow as fast as he wants to. And NDSU picks up the first.
Lupke coming off another big game, 95 rushing yards and 19 attempts at UNI 1 week ago.
Both teams already with 10 rushes in the game.
Little pitch to Lupke. Stacked up after a gain of 3 to the 41. See a lot of white shirts converging on the football that time.
That's what makes the opportunity or the potential of a play action later on.
North Dakota State, in terms of protecting the quarterback, has done a pretty good job all season long. Only 5 sacks allowed, at 6th best in the nation.
And one of the surprising stats, just looking at numbers, is SDSU this year with only 6 sacks. It seems, I know they haven't played a bunch of games, but it doesn't seem like much.
Miller's going to throw, going to drop it off to Dom Ganella. He's taken out by Bach, who's been busy today, still able to stumble ahead to the 44 and pick up 3, and that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
I kept waiting on that play to see if the seam was going to open up, because Christian Watson was running the fly pattern in that triple route tree. Nodak Insurance Company replay. There's the little play fake. Right up the seam is not there. Watson's run deeper a little bit along the sideline. He was covered. Take the short dump and try to pick up 3rd down.
Miller, quick bubble out to Ganella. Oh, nice play out in the flat. Taken down immediately on the play by Logan Backus. And a loss of 1.
Backus slides inside, gets inside the block of Watson. Watson just needs to try to get a little bit of a shield. He couldn't do that before Ganella was able to make the catch. But the Bison showed two guys pulling false pulls to the boundary side, trying to help open up the field. Backus wasn't fooled on the false pull and was able to get to the wide side of the field.
Leading tackler for South Dakota State, 4-year starter. Wegner will send this one high and deep. Taken at the 5. And a fair catch by Yankee. And we will step aside. South Dakota State backed up to its own 6-yard line when we come back to the Fargo Dome. Beautiful spring day in Fargo, and we're back with another Bison Fun Fact brought to you by Gate City Bank, the NDSU Bison Athlete Sandwich of Choice, a good old-fashioned PB&J. That's right, peanut butter and jelly. More than 6,000 served to Bison athletes at Gate City Bank's fueling station. Great way to get those calories, and a pickup of 5 yards by Davis up to the 11-yard line on the opening play of this drive for SDSU.
Well, it's only 2 big steps, but there's a big difference between gaining 3 yards on first down and 5 yards on first down. And right now, the Jacks on their first down rush has been pretty good so far.
SDSU's already doubled up North Dakota State in rushing yardage here in this opening half. 67 rush yards. Strong sneaking through a crease, close to a first down, a couple of yards short. Jackson Hankey and James Kaiser teaming up to make that stop.
Not a surprise that the 2 guys you just mentioned are first and second in terms of tackles this year for NDSU. Hankey's second on that list right now to Kaiser because Jackson did have a concussion earlier and had to miss a little bit more time.
Gronowski in the backfield with Davis on 3rd and short. Oh, they got a tight end come up and take the snap. And how about that? Tucker Kraft, the redshirt freshman out of Timber Lake, South Dakota, gets the carry and gets behind his big center and picks up a first down to the 23.
Well, Kraft has 2 catches. That's the first time he's ran the ball this year. He's not going to get many runs. There you're just checking out number 85. He's going to slide right behind there, take the snap, and then pick a gap.
Gronowski giving a little help from the backside as well. Flag comes out. I think someone from South Dakota State moved early, and I think it was Jackson Yankee.
Offense, number 10, 5-yard penalty, first down.
I think Yankee made a little bit of move, and Jazir Cox reacted off of that. Cox got into the neutral zone, but it was because the first movement was on SDSU.
John Stiegelmeier, 8 consecutive playoff appearances for South Dakota State, and regardless of a win or loss today, SDSU likely in the playoff field announced tomorrow morning. Gronkowski threw it behind Yankee and incomplete. It looked like Gronowski was almost bumped by somebody coming across. Made him throw that ball off target a little bit.
Well, he's made some good throws today. This one, if he's not bumped.
Like Strong, watch, right there.
Oh, yeah, Strong did maybe affect his forearm there just a little bit and made that ball nosedive intended for Yankee. Well, you mentioned SDSU making it 10 straight. There's only one other team in the conference, or 8 straight. There's only one other team in the conference that has made the playoffs more times consecutively than that.
Yep, we know who that is.
And
the other team on the field.
Yep, they're playing defense right now.
Strong gets the carry. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe just a little bit short, gain of 4.
But if you want an indication, and you mentioned it earlier, Brian, about the commitment to the run that South Dakota State has this year, here it's 2nd and long in your own territory, and what do? They're running the ball. So it's not just every time it's, you're behind the chains, you're passing it. That is not the case this year.
And the dome coming to life. Right around 9,000 in the building. Trying to make an impact here on 3rd and 11. Hines into the backfield. Kronowski's going to run. And he is taken down. Combination tackle. Wagee got him up top. And he'll be short of a first down by quite a bit. James Kaiser may have been the first one there.
Just being conservative. Nodak Insurance Company replay. Going to run a little quarterback power. You see McCormick in there on the little bit of a pull, trying to take care of the second level guy, but the other linebacker in on the legs. Real conservative once the Jackrabbits got behind the chains.
Dinkle. End over end. Fair catch made at the 42-yard line. Pretty good field position for North Dakota State when we come back. 7-3 Jacks. 8.5 to go here until halftime. 7-3, South Dakota State leads it. The Bison rushing attack, averaging just 2.8 yards per carry so far. Hunter Lukey, 6 carries, 23 yards to lead the way so far for NDSU. Play action here, Miller. To the sideline, well-thrown football, and Braylon Henderson makes the reception. Down to the Jackrabbit 36-yard line.
Nodak Insurance Company replay. Henderson is off to your right. There you see him on the drag. That long drag pattern allows Miller enough time to look downfield, see if anybody opens up, and it also freezes the safeties. The safeties have to honor his eyes in the middle of the field, knowing that the drag is going to be open. Well-delivered ball. Perfect.
21 yards on the connection from Miller to Henderson. There's a couple of freshmen there for NDSU. Now back to the bulldozer, Hunter Lukey. Gain of just a couple of the 34-yard line. Jacks have done a really good job up front so far. Let's go down to Ryan Gellner on the sidelines. Ryan?
It is a First International Bank and Trust sideline report. As you expected, Gray Zabel will not return to this football game. He left the field on crutches. He is back in the locker room getting x-rays, I am told. It is not an ankle, though. It is a lower leg injury, but he will not return. He is out for the remainder of the game. Guys?
All right, thanks so much, Ryan. So Zach Kubas, the senior out of Dickinson, will take his place. Watson, the motion man, will get the carry here. Boy, the Jacks were ready for that one. And Adam Bach takes down Watson for a loss of 1.
Boy, Adam Bach does a really nice job of absorbing contact. I think it was Lupke, 44, that first gets into him. He does. Look at him shed the big man and then get in on the tackle. Ooh, that was well done. Bach, young kid, redshirt freshman out of Sloan, Iowa. Who else is in that game right now out of Sloan,
Ken Miller.
Iowa?
I bet those two guys know each other pretty doggone well.
They should. Linebacker and quarterback from the same hometown.
3rd and 9. Miller has protection. Gonna go deep down the sideline. Was it caught in bounds? No, it was not. Watson made a tremendous catch but could not get a foot down, and that'll bring up 4th down for NDSU.
This is just letting your playmakers give him a chance to make the play. Thrown up there, caught.
Well, that was close.
It all depends on whether that left heel is on the turf or not. I thought it was real close to being in.
Officials had a really good look at it. We're right there on top of it on that far sideline. I'm not sure we'll have an angle.
But the replay booth is going to look at it.
Great effort there for Christian Watson. He is one of the most dynamic players anywhere in the FCS.
What a difference this makes, though. Your first, if it's a catch, your first down inside what, the 15? If the call stands, it's 4th and long. Will there be conclusive video evidence?
Well, based on the 2 angles we have seen, LT, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Quick look.
But you know what? If you call it a catch and you replay it,
probably
after
catch.
further review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass stands. It is 4th down.
So NDSU able to move it into Jackrabbit territory, LT, but again, not able to put themselves in a position to get points.
Yeah, there's just not enough here to overturn. Well, there's that left foot comes down. Looks like white shoe on the white line.
41, Ross Kennedy will snap.
So Garrett Wegner will try to pin the Jacks deep. Nobody back for SDSU for the punt, so Wegner has a chance here to really try to chip this thing in close inside the 10. And it looked like somebody from NDSU moved early.
Kaiser, I think, 3rd from the left.
Stig, I think, wants to say, I want to decline this penalty and let's make him try to pin us from right here.
False start, offense, number 26. That penalty is declined, 4th down.
We saw Wegner have a big punt late in the game at Northern Iowa last week. Was able to angle the ball out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And NDSU ended up preserving that 23-20 win. There's a lot of green jerseys back there. We'll see what kind of hop this thing takes. And the long snapper, Kennedy, will down it right at the 9-yard line. Luke Wirtz was the guy in there to down it. 7-3 NDSU, or SDSU, with 6:34 to go. Jackrabbits inside their own 10 when we return. Jacks have backed up their last couple of drives. Gronowski will try to get some daylight here. This drive starts at the 10. Gronowski going to take off and run. Dawson Weber came in there to get him first. Costner Ching cleaned him up. Gain of a couple.
A little bit of a delayed quarterback run. Gronowski can certainly run it. He had 120 yards on the ground against Western and over 100 against Southern. Costner Ching, a South Dakota native, getting in there on that tackle.
Now that was really something when South Dakota State ran for almost 400 yards at SIU last month.
61 carries.
Without Pierre Strong on the field.
That's the game he missed.
Gronowski, quick drop. Strong makes the catch. Oh, nice move in the open field. And he has a first down before he's finally taken down at the 29-yard line.
Well, you wonder why there's always motions and people moving. This pre-snap movement helps open up the weak side, and then when Kaiser when Kaiser misses, but the Jacks slide NDSU off to the team's left because Hankey had to jump a zone, and that's one less guy into the boundary. No second guy there to make the tackle after Kaiser misses.
16 yards on that reception for Pierre Strong. He'll get the carry again. Finds a cutback lane. Hit and taken down by Courtney Eubanks, another true freshman out there, after a gain of 5 yards.
There's Courtney, freshman from St. Petersburg, Florida, in the rotation now because of what Josh Hayes decided to leave the team and enter the transfer portal. So you take your senior best cover corner, and in comes the rotation of freshmen.
They really are excited about his potential and his future. They do want to get him more reps. Three more yards, maybe 4, by Johnson. Jackson Hankey coming over to make the stop. Excuse me, Davis, not Johnson, on the carry.
I thought it was Strong on the carry there. Yeah, Pierre Strong.
Now announcing the Shields NDSU Coaches Collection starting lineup, featuring gear hand-selected by the Bison coaching staff. Available in-store and online at shields.com. Go Bison!
3rd and 2 for the Jacks. Davis gets the call again. Good push up front. And another first down run, gain of 4 up to the 41.
This is a play that looks like one directly out of NDSU's playbook. A little bit of a power pull from the guard. A gap power right up the middle. Nodak Insurance Company replayed. There you see the guard. 56, Lickus moving. Getting into that A gap and picking up the first.
South Dakota State approaching 100 rushing yards so far here in this first half. Under 3.5 to go until halftime. Davis again. Lane Tucker got him low before help came, and a gain of just 1.
Left side tackle Aaron Johnson pulls on that play. Was unable to help get a push, but you have guards pulling, you're used to that. But now when the offside tackles are moving, that's some stuff that the Bison have not seen much this year.
I'm kind of wondering too how South Dakota State would play in this opening half. Haven't played in a month. Would there be any rust? We really haven't seen that, LT.
No, not a lot. Rust usually shows up in tackling more than anything else, I would say.
Davis gets the carry again. Oof, big hit. James Kaiser making the stop.
This is where offenses make it tough to read on defenses, because 71 pulls it once again. Plays coming this way. That was the same motion that he had last time, so it really changes the eyes, and you're really testing the defense. Kaiser said, I'm going to come downhill and make this tackle.
Eubanks didn't make that play, but he at least was able to get some inside leverage to push that thing outside where he had some help. Jacks need the Bison 49 for a first down. Gronowski under pressure. And he's sacked. Back at the 36. And a timeout taken, I think, by NDSU here with 1:43 to go.
Lane Tucker was in on there. Nodak Insurance Company replay. Tucker comes inside. And Braden Thomas jumps 2 different zones on a little bit of a block to try to mess up the eyes. See, look at where Thomas comes all the way around there. And Tucker just beats his man inside and then stays with the play. Finished off there by Pierce.
Looked like for a second that Gronowski was going to try to hand the ball off to Greenfield, didn't it?
That would have been a mistake.
And that's just the 6th sack allowed for South Dakota State this spring as well. They've done a nice job protecting Gronowski. Let's pause for a quick word from Tobolt Seed.
Tobolt Seed offers the latest in seed cleaning technology to ensure your crop's full potential. Tobolt Seed also contracts, produces, and supplies the finest quality non-GMO soybeans to food manufacturers around the globe. Tobolt Seed, grow with us.
But both of these teams know each other so well that it's really kind of fun right now to watch what's happening on the interior and what each team is doing to try to influence and trick, if you will, the opponent. The Bison that time on that sack moved Braden Thomas from the right side all the way over to the left side. We saw Johnson pulling with the same pull motion play going in opposite directions on back-to-back plays for South Dakota State.
Tinkle. Boy, pretty good punt. Price has to retreat all the way to his own 18-yard line, and NDSU will be backed up with 1:35 to go and 2 timeouts.
Yeah, for a kid averaging only 40 yards a punt, that one was about 15 yards further than that.
.45 yards on the boot from Dinkle, but more importantly, Price unable to return that particular kick.
Just keep waiting for the tight ends to get more involved.
For North Dakota State,
yes.
Yeah.
One tight end there now, it's Gindorf.
Canella gets the carry, tries to bounce it outside, but again, it's Adam Bach taking him down after a gain of 2 blocks. Has been really busy today.
This time it's the Jackrabbits taking the quick timeout.
Already 10 tackles for Bach here in this first half.
Really? That
Yeah.
many? Wow. The one that sticks out is the one we showed the replay of where he was able to absorb the contact from Lupke and get in on that tackle. But I guess if you're the guy who's going to replace Christian Rozeboom, you better be a guy that can do some of the things he was able to do.
In terms of a guy, though, that could stick his nose and make a play and also run sideline to sideline, there was not another guy like that in the Valley that we've seen in a long time, LT.
No, and it seemed like he played for 10 years, too.
Well, the Jacks have done a really good job, in particular the front seven here against the run. And ESU averaging just 2.4 yards per rush in the first half. And it's been all Cam Miller quarterback since the opening drive of the game.
Safety right now is pretty low. Now he moves to a little bit deeper.
Miller has room to run if he wants. Now he will take off. Tracked down from behind by Crockett Krolikowski. About a yard short of a first down.
One thing we saw, especially in that in the drive in the UND game, the patience that Miller showed right here as he's on the move. The patience, he's hoping somebody comes up. Lippy wasn't able to pop open. Babbage wasn't able to pop open, but he was trying to give his receiving core that extra step or two to see if he could, if they could get open.
It'll be third and a long one here. NDSU will need to get to the 29-yard line. The ball spotted just outside of really the 28. Miller 5 of 7, 72 yards in this first half. SDSU thinking with 1:18 left, still a timeout in their pocket. If they can get a stop here, maybe an opportunity to get some more points before halftime.
Zeb Nolan had the first series. It's been Cam Miller since then.
Oh boy, no one moved on the snap. Miller just chucked it deep and there's nobody back there. That play was off from the get-go. And there is a flag down. I'm not sure what in the world they're going to call there.
Well, Cordell Volson was tangled up with somebody, and I believe that's the spot that the reason the flag was thrown.
It's a hold against NDSU. So
Holding.
this,
Offense.
Declining.
Number
They
67.
get the ball.
That penalty is declined. The result of the play is fourth down.
center snapped the ball and he moved, but nobody else did initially.
Look at how delayed. Weird looking, and then you see the tackle there by 67.
So Yankee back at his own 25, and Wegner will try to get some field position here back for NDSU.
But that tackle from Cordell Volson is actually a good one when it plays that disrupted. You're doing whatever you can do to protect your quarterback.
Yankee has a chance to return this one at the 20. Sprinting upfield, nice return. Wisniewski coming in to make the tackle with Wirtz. But a decent spot here for the Jacks. 1:02 to go at the 37-yard line. The worst part about that play too, LT, is you didn't make SDSU burn their last time out either.
Yep.
First and 10 for the Jacks at the 37-yard line.
Gronowski, the leading rusher in this game this afternoon. 6 attempts, 30 yards. He's completed 4 passes for 79 yards, including the touchdown to Blake Coons. Gronowski to Strong across the middle, and Strong across midfield, picking up 14 yards inside Bison territory to the 49-yard line.
The Jackrabbits use Bauer to kind of clear it, and then a little delayed. Strong circles out left, gets back into the middle, into midfield.
So now Buto will check in, and NDSU can do this because SDSU swapped out a running back, and time continues to tick. Pass complete. And how about the run after the catch that time by Isaiah Davis all the way down to the Bison 26-yard line.
I think it was Pierce that came up to try to make the tackle along the sideline, and I tell you, SDSU has really been able to do a pretty good job of getting some yards, and I should say make that first guy miss, or the first guy does miss, and then you keep moving it down.
But just like that, SDSU goes from its own 37 all the way down to the Bison 26 in just 2 plays.
With passes to the running backs.
23 yards on that reception. Gronowski across the middle. Oh, it was almost intercepted behind his intended targets, and Jasir Cox had to hit him right in the number.
So trying to run a little stick route there to Hines, I believe. Zach Hines, the sophomore tight end. Oh, those are the kinds that live in your dreams when you're a defender and you let it get away.
.27 seconds remains here in this opening half. Davis going to get the carry. Boy, look at strong running there from Davis. Took a couple of different Bison to bring him down. Jaden Price and Jackson Hankey after a gain of about 8 yards. Time continues to tick here as we're under 10 seconds to go. Gronowski just lunging ahead down to the 14-yard line, and now a timeout called by John Stiegelmeier.
Now the clock does stop after picking up the first down.
Not sure the Jacks can afford to run another play here. Probably will have to attempt the field goal.
30 seconds.
Interesting. I was more thinking you would use the timeout on the third down play instead of trying to go to pick up the first down, but
5 plays, 49 yards in just 55 seconds so far for SDSU on this drive. Cole Fromm will come out to attempt what should be about a 30 to 31 yard field goal attempt. He's had a couple of blocked this season. He did make a 52-yarder at home against Youngstown State.
keep in mind the Jacks have used a ton of different long snappers this year because of injuries.
Down, it is up from, got it. Just snuck it inside that right upright, and the Jackrabbits extend the lead to 10-3 with 3 seconds to go in this opening half.
Oh, you go back to that play where Cox can't hold on, and what a difference it makes. You get the interception, and you feel really great, and you have momentum going into the halftime, and you keep SDSU from getting points, but you can't hold on to the interception. You hold the Jackrabbits to 3, but it does allow the other team to get points on the board.
In terms of ball control, SDSU has had it 17.5 minutes compared to NDSU's 12.5 minutes. The most alarming thing, if you're North Dakota State, maybe you feel fortunate you're only down 10-3 after 215 total yards of offense has been gained by SDSU here.
Well, those are types of first half yardage that really at times shows up when you start to get a little bit deeper and later in the game.
Bobcats scoring a recap, 6 plays, 49 yards in just under a minute. You have to think that this will be some sort of
keep it away from Christian
keep it away
Watson.
from Christian Watson type kick. Yeah. This one is angled.
Fair catch. One play.
So no time runs off the clock. I can't imagine NDSU will get too exotic here.
Well, you're behind. Why not throw it deep? What does it hurt?
Well, we've seen NDSU at the end of a half at SIU get the big play for a touchdown.
But this is
not that.
Not that formation.
Miller will take a knee, and that will take us to halftime. South Dakota State on the road, leading by a touchdown with the Missouri Valley Conference title and the automatic bid to the FCS playoffs on the line. Ryan Gellner will try to catch a word here with NDSU head coach Matt Entz. Matt has made his way over to Ryan. Let's go downfield level.
Matt, assess that first half.
Well, two good football teams trying to feel each other out. Some adjustments got to be made. They're doing some things with some unique formations right now. Got to convert some third downs. You know, at some point offensively, you know, we just aired down there with the quarterback, and in the rhythm of the snap, we got to be better.
We'll let you talk to him. Thank you,
All right,
Coach.
appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Nice.
10-3 after the first 2 quarters of play. And as we have seen in the past, do not go anywhere, because these games always seem to come down to the last couple of minutes in the fourth quarter.
But what is that third down? 2 of 7 right now, I think, NDSU in the first half.
And 4 of 8 for South Dakota State. We will step aside. Proceed halftime report. Coming up on the other side of this break, it's 10-3. Jackrabbits, the only touchdown. Gronowski to Blake Coons from 25 yards out.
Welcome into the Proceed Halftime Report. Beth Wool, Kyle Emanuel joining you here as SDSU leads NDSU 10-3 right now at the halfway point.
Yeah, and it's just been one of those games. We knew it would probably be low scoring, but to me, and I hate to say this, but it looks like SDSU's winning the line of scrimmage, something we talked a lot about in the pregame, and they just look like they have a little bit more energy. They're moving the ball a little bit more. I think NDSU's probably lucky to only be down 10-3 at this point.
Let's get into these first half highlights. Things opening up. It starts off as a real defensive battle. Neither side necessarily getting anything going too early in this one.
Yeah, tough sledding for both offenses, trying to run the ball. We knew that coming into the game. Both teams are going to try to run the ball. We see Hunter Lupke trying to get some things going. NDSU only averaging 2.5 yards per carry. Defensive line did some good things for NDSU, got to the quarterback a few times, but it was just kind of tough sledding early on.
A team that didn't give up very many sacks this spring. The Bison have been able to get there, but they do eventually open things up. Mark Gronowski to Blake Coons for the opening touchdown.
And this was a really good, efficient drive by SDSU. I think they had 1 incompletion on it the entire time.
Biggest play for the Bison here, Cam Miller to Christian Watson, 35 yards.
Yeah, if you're wondering about offense, that was pretty much it right there, and it led to the only points for NDSU in the field goal.
A 40-yard field goal by Jake Reinholtz makes it 7-3. We'll fast forward to the end of the second half. A real impressive drive in the final 60 seconds. Gronowski to Strong for 14. Gronowski for Isaiah Davis here with another big run.
Yeah, Pierre Strong hit him with the little angler out there, and then this is what I was talking about, winning the line of scrimmage. I thought SDSU did a good job of running the ball for the most part, and they finished with a field goal.
NDSU holding them to the field goal, though, super important there. It's now a 10-3 game here as we take a look at our North Dakota Certified Seed Producers halftime stats. I mean, when you look at those, I think that tells the game exactly what you were talking about, you were feeling in this game. 99 yards rushing, 116 passing yards. You felt that difference in the offense.
Yeah, and look at those first downs. 12 first downs compared to 4. I think the time of possession, I honestly surprised it's not even worse for NDSU. You know, I wrote down some stats of my own. 215 total yards for SDSU compared to just 112 for NDSU. And then the rushing, the yards per average was something that really surprised me. 99 total yards for SDSU, averaging over 4 yards a carry. NDSU only averaging 2.5. And they just have not been able to get things going efficiently offensively. And that's something I thought NDSU defense, realistically, I thought they played pretty well, other than the 2 drives.
A couple missed tackles in open field,
Exactly.
but that's a hard place to get
No,
through.
you're exactly right, Beth. I almost forgot about the missed tackles. That was really it. Other than the missed tackles, and they put together those 2 drives. Playing pretty well defensively, but I think this is one of those games you might want to hold SDSU to like 17 points, maybe 20. It's going to be tough for to put up points against a really good SDSU defense, both on the ground and in the pass game.
Again, those stats brought to you by the North Dakota Certified Seed Producers. I do think another important one to talk about, you heard Matt Entz say it, leaving the field there. We've certainly been talking about it as we watch this first half. Those third downs, NDSU 2 of 7 on third down. They have to produce better there.
Well, it's all about sustaining drives. And as a defense, you want to get off the field offensively, you have to stay on the field, not only to help your defense out, but to put up points, right? And they can't stay on the field right now, and SDSU's been able to, and that's been another big difference in this half.
In comparison, Jackrabbits 4 of 8 on third down. That'll do it for us up here in the booth on your North Dakota or on your Proceed halftime report. We'll head down to the field here when we come back to catch up with Devin Fry.
Welcome back into the Proceed Halftime Report. Devin Fry down here on the field in the Fargo Dome. South Dakota State currently leading North Dakota State 10-3. We're going to go ahead and take a look at other scores around the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Now, obviously with this being the last week of the season and some games being canceled, as you see North Dakota's game against Youngstown State called off earlier this week. The only other Missouri Valley football team in action, Southern Illinois, and they were involved in an offensive showcase with Southeastern Louisiana, winning that one 55-48. So we're going to expand our focus a little bit here, look at some more top teams nationally. The #1 ranked team in the country, James Madison, keeping their unbeaten record alive. They're now 5-0 after defeating Richmond 23-6. And the fifth ranked team in the country, Sam Houston, defeating Incarnate Word 42-14. So we're going to go ahead and look. Those are the scores from around the country, not the Valley now. James Madison staying undefeated so far this season, #1 ranked team in the country. North Dakota State sitting at second. They're in a battle with another top 5 team, South Dakota State, a 2 versus 4 battle there. The only other top 5 team, they were not in action today, is Weber State. Their game was called off. And obviously the 6th ranked North Dakota Fighting Hawks, their game was canceled earlier this week, their contest against Youngstown State. So some big names in the top 5 staying consistent. Another one looking to do so is going to be North Dakota State here in the Fargo Dome, where they currently are down 10-3 to South Dakota State. We're going to return here with the second half from the Fargo Dome with NDSU against SDSU. The Dakota Marker continues next.
Second half between the Jackson Bison coming up here in just a couple of moments on the KVOI KFYR Bison Television Network. And in about 12 days, that guy likely going to hear his name called in the 2021 NFL Draft.
There's been a lot of talk and a lot of speculation, but next week it becomes real. We saw that when Carson went through it, and then all of a sudden, hey, not only are you an NFL quarterback, you're an instant millionaire, you're everything else that goes along with the opportunity that he has in front of him. So congratulations to Trey moving forward.
Crazy to see how the last 12 months have unfolded for him. And one more pro day coming up here at the Fargo Dome that is closed to the public. Only NFL teams will be invited to that. And then he will be in the green room for the draft coming up starting on April 29th. Meanwhile, here SDSU, NDSU, you got to give credit to the Jackrabbits. They have really controlled the line of scrimmage for the most part in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. What was one of the biggest questions coming into this game? Which team is going to be the most physical? And right now it's a team wearing a white jersey. And the injury to Gray Zabel certainly doesn't help, but the Jackrabbit offensive line to this point in the game has played better than the Bison offensive line.
Well, if you're North Dakota State, what adjustments do you make here to try to get your running game going? You really thought maybe Hunter Lukey would be a guy that would be able to get some of those tough yards. The Bison averaging just 2.5 yards per carry so far on the ground.
Real surprising the fact that the Bison aren't up there. What's their season averages? 5 point something, I think. So the Jacks have cut that in half. But I think you just have to keep trying it until it works. And if it doesn't work, you're going to lose.
And Cam Miller has been in at quarterback ever since the opening drive. Zeb Nolan played the first drive, 3 plays of 3 and out, and then we've seen Miller pretty much the rest of the way. The Jackrabbits with a 1-touchdown lead, the Bison with the football first. It's booted away, and Christian Watson's going to get a chance again. From zone 3. Trying to find a lane, held up momentarily, high hurdles a couple of guys, and gets up to about the 25-yard line. Adam Bach in on another tackle for South Dakota State.
Kodak Insurance Company replay. Watson going up, going over, and getting, about 4 more yards because he put his body on the line.
Miller will start at quarterback here for the second half as well. The freshman out of Solon, Iowa, 5 of 8, 72 yards, throwing the football. 5 carries, 9 yards on the ground. Dominic Ganella stood up. Gain of about 3 yards. Xavier Ward was there in the middle to turn him back. Here's a look at Miller, a young man that played a lot more early against Illinois State. Quarterback comparison brought to you by the North Dakota Beef Commission, funded by beef farmers and ranchers.
Well, we saw Trey Lance coming out here and talked about him, but the Bison have had 15 guys carry the ball this year. Trey is still 5th on the team in rushing.
Played
he
one
played
game.
one game last fall.
Watson getting the carry again, trying to get upfield, and Tetzlaff was there to help take him down along with Logan Backus. 3rd and 3 coming up.
Well, Tetzlaff slows him down, but Backus showed his speed, his side-to-side speed on this play. Nodak Insurance Company replay. You're looking for number 12 to kind of fly in there. Here he comes, brings Watson down.
North Dakota State on 3rd down, just 2 of 7 in that first half, and overall the Bison just 4 first downs total.
This is an important 3rd down play.
Lupke puts his head down and gets across the 35 and picks up the first down to the 36.
There's some physicality that NDSU needs to show here in this second half. Hunter Brosio with a good fullback lead. Going off to the left side behind Mauk and Jensen. Square those shoulders, get your pads down and roll. I mean, coming out of all the things you talk about at halftime, the last thing you want as an offense is a 3-and-out.
Chase Norblade, Crockett Krolikowski teaming up for that stop for SDSU. Play action. Miller. Boy, another beautiful pass to the sideline, and Henderson makes his second catch, and that's a pickup of 12 to the 48.
Well, here's why Miller knew a blitz was coming. Nodak Insurance Company replay. As we watch this, of all the shift trade motion the Bison did on that particular play, nobody moved from SDSU. If they're not making adjustments on the routes of motions, that means the blitz is coming. So Miller had the heads up that it was coming and was able to pass into the side where the blitz was going.
Play action again.
Open.
Miller deep. Watson open at the 25. Down to the 13-yard line.
Looked like a deep zone. Oh, one of the safeties is playing run up there. That Stallbird was way shallow, assuming the Bison were going to run the ball, and he's back on the tackle. That's why Watson got so open, because number 2 right now is trying to cover his keister. He came downhill too much, too early.
Stallbird, a transfer from Nebraska, played 2 seasons there.
Probably the most athletic DB they have.
Lupke stumbled as he got to the line of scrimmage, and that was it.
It looks like there might have been some yards to be made there, but Lupke couldn't keep his feet.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Bison down into the red zone right now, but you go back to the 3rd down play at the beginning of this drive. That was that to this point, the critical play of the drive to stay on the field.
Miller quarterback run. He's got some room up the middle. Cam Miller, touchdown.
Well, if you're a tight end, you need to be able to catch the ball. You need to be able to block. And there's a beautiful job on the edge by Gindorf. Babbage blocks down. That's right where the ball runs. Watch 87 right at you. He takes care of Backus. We just got done talking about how good a tackler he is and how fast he is taken out of the play. So a good seal down low, a good kick out by both tight ends, and NDSU has a touchdown.
Cam Miller, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season, and we are tied 13 yards out. The freshman from Solon, Iowa, getting more comfortable here at the Fargo Dome. Life is stressful, and Shields is here to help you take care of your mind, body, and soul. Visit us in-store and online at shields.com. The Bison have tied things up. 7 plays, 76 yards in just 3.5 minutes. Cam Miller, his 2nd rushing touchdown. Wegner seems going to be brought out. Meacham. And a flag comes in back at the 16. Looked like Destin Talbert was one of the guys that got in there for NDSU, along with Nick Kubitz.
Yeah, usually last one up is the first one in. Jackrabbits, this will be a half the distance call. Okay, Cam Miller scores the first touchdown for NDSU. Let's go back. Now I want you to watch Babbage, and I want to have you watch the first move right there from Volson, and you also see Lupke, the +1 run. Go ahead and roll it. Babbage does a great job sealing. He takes care of Likas. And then the Winkleman has to honor Volson's move to the inside, so he helps him take himself out of the play, and the Bison execute it perfectly. You go back to that third down play. The third play of that drive stayed on the field, and the Bison were able to tie it up.
Jacks backed up to their own 8-yard line here for this opening drive of the second half after the penalty. Strong makes the reception. Nice design, nice execution. Again, gain of 11 yards for Pierre Strong. And the Jacks have done an excellent job of using their tailbacks in the receiving game so far here today.
Really effective plays coming out of the backfield, but what I like on that play is Jaden Yonke doesn't get a body on Jazir Cox, but he gets in his way enough that Cox has to alter his motion to the wide side, and that's enough to allow Strong to pick up the first.
Somebody moved early. I think it was a tight end down at the bottom of the screen there.
Someone in the interior also rocked and got a hand down, which I think was in the neutral zone. It was Kraft, I believe. 85 right there is the young man who moved.
Kraft does have 1 carry today for 4 yards on a big third down.
I'll bet it's his only carry of the day.
Strong motions out. Gronowski hanging in there, has room to run, and now he will go. Across the 20 and stays on his feet to the 23-yard line. Costner Ching comes over to make the stop, but a gain of 8 there for the true freshman out of Naperville.
Well, when Strong goes to the right side of the formation, boy, you really have to honor that. He's the guy out there right now making a block, but nothing. There were 5 guys out there. Everybody was covered very, very well by the Bison, and Gronowski just got what he could.
So look at the numbers on Gronowski. Sponsored by the North Dakota Beef Mission. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. Very efficient so far today. Also been very big in the running game. A fake pitch, and Gronowski has enough for a first down to the 30-yard line. So a 1st and 15, and the Jacks able to execute and move the sticks again.
Well, Jabari Gibbs wasn't fully healthy anyway, but his ability to do this is one of the main reasons that he's in there. Again, Aaron Johnson, the offside tackle, pulling all the way across the formation. He's starting on the left side, number 71, and then leads his quarterback to pick up the first down.
Gronowski going to take off and run again, and look at him go. Good strong finish. Destin Talbert finally got in there to take him down. Jackson Hankey also in on the stop, but another big gain all the way up to the Bison, or excuse me, the Jackrabbit 47.
If you can cause a defensive player to be in conflict, then you win. That's what the Bison did on that play. Poor James Kaiser. What do? Do I break it off and go to the quarterback? Well, if I do that, number 20, their best offensive player is open. Kaiser goes to Strong. Quarterback reads it right, picks up the first.
10 carries, 66 yards now for Gronowski. Boy, Strong busting through a hole. Oh, this guy's off to the races. Pierre Strong is into the end zone. Touchdown.
If you watched us during the pregame show, we talked about how number 20 has so many big plays where he works back across the grain. Where's this play start? On the left. He works back to the right. You make the safety miss. And when a safety misses, there's a good chance that there's going to be a very big run at the end of it. And Strong ends up getting 6 points for NDSU. But, boy, he's done that over and over and over again.
Fromm on to add the extra point. Fromm boots it through it. South Dakota State, a quick answer. Backed up, this drive started at its own 8-yard line, and the Jackrabbits get a couple of big runs from their quarterback, and then Pierre Strong dashes 53 yards for the score, and SDSU leads 17-10, 8:28 to go here in the third quarter. We've got another Bison Fun Fact brought to you by Gate City Bank. Remember, we said Bison athletes love their PB&Js. Well, to make that many sandwiches, they go through about 2,800 loaves of bread, 2,400 pounds of peanut butter, and 1,100 pounds of jelly at the Gate City Bank fueling station.
Makes me hungry for a PB&J.
I think I'm going to grab one when I get home. South Dakota State up to 185 rushing yards. Again, the Jacks averaging about 220 here in the spring per game. Pierre Strong now up to 77 rushing yards after going for 53. Short kick taken by Rajon Nelson. Fair catch at the 16. And the Bison will start from the 25. Let's take a look at the Bobcats scoring recap. Did not take the Jacks long. 5 plays, 92 yards. We go back to when SDSU was 1st and 15 after the penalty. Gronowski, the big scramble for 10 yards. And then a couple of other quarterback runs. And then Pierre Strong with the home run.
Both those drives end up in touchdowns for each team, but the efficiency in which SDSU just showed was impressive.
Miller pumps, pulls it down a couple of different times, and now he might run. Miller, as a flag comes in, gets up to the 32-yard line, but this may be a block in the back.
Too bad Miller couldn't spot way off to the left in front of the SDSU sideline. Hunter Lupke was open, but he just didn't have.
There's no foul for illegal block in the back. The result of the play is second down.
You think better of it? That will be a pickup of 7.
Were you looking at the one where Jalen Sundell was involved in it?
No, Noah Gindorf on the edge.
Oh, okay.
I think officials are talking more about that if a defender turns his back at the last second. You know, if he has a guy squared up and all of a sudden he turns back. Lutke trying to find some room. Good strong running again. Picks up 5 yards up to the 37, and that will move the sticks for NDSU.
Well, Cordell Wilson's your best offensive lineman. He's at right tackle. You move both of your tight ends to be on his hip. So there's obviously some power going on in terms of the blocking ability that NDSU has. Go back to the UND game. Where was NDSU so successful on the 2 tight end side a bunch? There's a good look at Cordell, the senior from Balfour.
Miller on the quarterback run again. Sidesteps one defender. Gain 6.
And Caleb Saunders is a nose tackle, and he's like, hey, I'm not used to having to tackle somebody in space, because he did not have a Bison body on him. And he tried to kind of square up against Miller, and Cam was able to scoot past him real quick.
Lukey, he was met right in the backfield. Excellent penetration that time by Xavier Ward, the senior from Freeman, South Dakota. Will bring up 3rd and 5. Let's pause for a quick word from the Bank of North Dakota.
We encourage you to keep education expenses and student loan debt down. One way to do this is by earning college credit by taking dual credit or AP classes in high school.
Third and 5 here for NDSU. Miller fires in the flat. Man is open. And I believe that is Jacob again, who took a big shot at the end. A flag back at the 41.
I think it's going to be, they're going to look at targeting, but there was a flag initially. This play is not going to count because Christian Watson was in motion. Illegal motion against NDSU, I think, before everything else happened. And it looked like a high hit, didn't it? I think there's a lot to sort out on this play. I thought Watson moved.
Art Brown will let us know what's going on here.
It was a high hit, but he did not lead with the crown of his helmet.
It's a big hit by Spalding coming in there.
Nice job by Jacob to hold the ball, because he obviously did not see that coming. Oh, there is the crown. Yeah,
They may take a look at that.
Yeah, they're going to look at this one, and this, I think, is going to be a targeting call. We saw that. We saw that one angle on Spalding, and I think he saw the helmet to helmet.
Yeah, he leads with the crown, and then when you leave your feet like that too, again, all the elements have to be confirmed for this to happen. And this is a big call because NDSU would have had a first down. So either it's going to be a first down
or 3rd and 10.
Or 3rd and 10.
It's kind of funny because my first reaction was targeting. And then we saw a couple of replays and I thought, well, no. And then we see that one angle and I'm like, yep, looks like it again. So you want to be a replay official. Nodak Insurance Company replay, first point of contact, crown of the helmet.
Our replay official today is Mark Larson right there.
That was the angle that we saw when I'm like, I've changed my mind again.
The headset is off. Now Art Brown is putting it back on. Cole Jacob there, a senior that decided to come back to Benilde St. Margaret High School. Would have been his second catch today.
Yeah, his hometown's Medina, Minnesota. Coach Hedberg earlier this year said that he's the glue that really holds that wide receiver group together, which is why he's one of the captains.
Let's see what Art Brown has to say here.
After further review, personal foul, targeting, South Dakota State, number 29. Those penalties offset, it will be 3rd down. Number 29 is disqualified from the contest.
Okay, so the penalties do offset, so it'll be back to 3rd and 5 again.
And he's gone for the rest of the game.
Yep. And should SDSU likely play a playoff game next week, he will not play in the first half next week either. Young man from Florida, Lake Howell High School.
Redshirt freshman, did start a couple of games early this year, and then that's where Bach kind of took over that position.
Miller, quick drop, Going to try to get it with the run. He dives ahead. I think he's just a little bit short. We'll see where they mark it.
Really close.
Needed the 47, and that's about where they're putting the football down.
It looks more 46-ish. Nodak Insurance Company replay. Miller with the dive.
I do think he's short.
I think he's short.
Half
by
yard, maybe.
Length of the football. Miller just couldn't quite pull the trigger early on that play. I thought he had Gindorf right off the bat, but that window closed. I think it's short.
We're not by much, though.
Nope.
You said length of the football. That is very accurate.
And I think you go for it. After you just saw the team go 5 plays, boom, 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 get the lead right back on you.
Well, we have certainly seen Matt Entz in his tenure as head coach here be more aggressive than some of his predecessors when it comes to these situations.
2 of 6 on 4th downs this year.
Quarterback run for Miller. Got it. Following his lead back, gets to midfield, and that'll move the sticks.
Logan Hofstadt was in there. He was that back you were talking about, Brian. Kind of followed the redshirt freshman from Cannon Falls in for that first down. Nodak Insurance Company replay. Boy, he made a nice block, too. Beautiful job. Nice little pancake block there by Hofstadt.
I think he got Backus.
He did look like he took Backus down. When you have both numbers on the back of some guy's jerseys pinned against the turf, you're smiling.
Play action again. Miller firing on the out, but it's short.
Flag in the backfield.
Looking again for Henderson. Watson was also streaking downfield.
False motion pulls, though. Bison looked like they were going to run.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 94. That 15-yard penalty was enforced from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Cade Tervier called for the personal foul, and that'll move the ball all the way down to the Jackrabbit 35.
Just penalties alone have made this drive kind of a strange one.
Back up, everyone. Back up behind him. Word, please. Lettering, thank you.
Brosio and Lupke. Got a lot of beef in the backfield here on 1st and 10. Lupke gets it. Able to pick up a few down to the 27-yard line.
It just seems like Lupke today, Krolikowski was on his legs. It just doesn't seem like he's able to get that one step beyond the line of scrimmage without somebody down low.
And those are 2 big tackles in there. You talk about Caleb Sanders, Crockett Krolikowski. Talking to Tyler Roll this week, he said, you know, those guys are kind of recruited to be run stoppers in the middle. Play action. Miller firing on the out. A lot of hand fighting out there, and a flag comes in. 2 of them do. Don Gardner out in coverage.
Gardner's been around. He's a senior. Nodak Insurance Company replay. Are we going to see the jersey? I thought there was a jersey tug in there,
Pass
too.
interference, defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I thought I saw a little right-hand pull there, too, from the corner.
There's
Isolation. Oh, yep, left-hand pull, both. He held with both hands. I missed the first tug. I saw the second one.
Now moves the ball all the way down to the 22. Gardner, second team All-Valley in 2019.
Another penalty on this drive.
Miller on the run, gets away from one man. Flips it up, and a dangerous throw. Falls harmlessly incomplete.
Well, he hasn't done a lot of freshman-type things. That might have been one of them. He's trying to get the ball to Ginella. Looked like he had a chance to go lippy deep, but then couldn't. Committed himself to the air and then threw the ball. Whew.
Boy, a lot happening in this third quarter. There's a lot going on. The tight ends do not have a reception today. Ginella with the carry, trying to get away and unable to do so. Nice job by Griffin, the safety, coming down to make the stop at the 20.
If Griffin doesn't, then this one I think is a first down at least. Here's your Nodak Insurance Company replay. He transferred from Southwest Minnesota State over to Brookings. He was able to get enough of that thigh pad to kind of slow the runner down. He's a captain for the Jackrabbits as well.
Kind of a ball hawk. Was Missouri Valley All newcomer team in 2019. 4 interceptions.
I like the look.
Miller up top to Gindorf. Makes the catch inside the 5.
Here's the reason why I like the look, because when Ginella goes from the backfield to the wide guy to the high side, it means that it's one-on-one against the tight end. And Brian, you just mentioned tight ends had no catches. That was a play designed to isolate this. You have Griffin one-on-one, and the big man Noah Gindorf pulls it down.
9th reception of this season for Gindorf. He has 7 career touchdowns as well. Ginella stopped right at the 2-yard line of scrimmage.
Is that Savion Williams?
I believe it was. He has played more snaps here the last few weeks.
At this point, I thought, oh, it's going to be a touchdown, and then he gets past Kubis and is able to seal that off.
Williamson, sophomore out of Waseca, Minnesota. Lupke checking in at tailback. Brosio, the fullback. Play action. Miller going to cut up field, diving in. Touchdown. Flag came in late.
Brosio was tangled up a little bit there with Backus. I don't know if that was where the flag was coming. Look at Backus coming back down. Oh, touchdown, and then Backus slipped down, so I'm not sure what the flag was.
There's a penalty flag in the end zone.
So the touchdown will count, and that penalty likely enforced on the kickoff. A lot of defensive penalties on South Dakota State really hurt on that drive.
Defense, number 30. That penalty is enforced on the kickoff. Touchdown.
Peyton Schaefer was the one who was called.
Well, we've seen the quarterback run game for both teams be so important today. Reynolds on for the extra point. Knocks it through, and we're tied once again at 17 with 2:11 to go in the third quarter. Cam Miller, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, and the freshman coming of age. 2 top 5 ranked teams. We got a good one going here in Fargo.
What a crazy drive.
Tied at 17 on the Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. North Dakota State 2 possessions in the second half, 2 touchdown drives. Now Wegner can kick this one away from midfield after the penalty marked off on the face mask on the touchdown run. They're going to try to pooch it, make the Jacks return it. Taken by one of the up men. We'll take it up to about the 24-yard line. That's Mike Morgan, backup tight end fullback.
But it was successful in that you have somebody handling the football who hasn't so far today, and it's not one of the speed guys who are in the back.
Now the Jackrabbits on their opening drive, right down the field, 5 plays, 92 yards. We'll see how they come out here to start their second drive of this second half. Isaiah Davis will start in at tailback. Gronowski under pressure. They got to him.
Dawson Weber came on a corner spear. Number 2 coming around the right side. Really good pressure. Javier Derrick right up the middle. That meant that even though he sees the blitz coming, like he knows right now, okay, here's number 2. What do I got to do? Step up into it. He can't.
An aggressive call there from David Perron, the defensive coordinator from NDSU on first down.
It was an interesting look, too, though. The Bison had only 3 down linemen instead of the 4 on that last play.
Davis has some room, some nifty running, and he gains about 10, and that'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Wes Gannett absolutely tackled the guy. Watch in the middle. What, do we see it? Yeah, we do. Right there, middle of the screen. No call. But Gannett snapped the ball and just bear hug.
The Jacks really good on 3rd down in the first half. 4 of 8. Big 3rd and 5 here. Gronowski across the middle, open man, the reception is made, and Davis has a first down across the 35 to the 37.
Just rushing 4, no pressures on this particular play. Davis coming out of the backfield. That South Dakota State has had real good success on it. But when you just go into your straight drops, just your normal drops for linebackers and spacing, there's a lot of room right over there in the middle, and the Jackrabbits took advantage of it.
Big conversion there. South Dakota State at 2nd and 15 and able to once again pick up a first down. Davis, Costner Ching got him in the backfield, loss of 1.
I love what the Bison did right before this one. They really pinched the center. I mean, Gannett had that tackle on the play before. Here they really pinched both sides of it. Ching was able to win it.
Excuse me, that was Pierre Strong on the carry. 2nd and 11 when we come back. That takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Boy, a lot going on. These two old rivals giving us another heck of a football game. The Valley title on the line. All tied up with 15 minutes to go here in Fargo. Start of the 4th quarter at the Fargo Dome. South Dakota State, North Dakota State tied at 17. 2nd and 11 for the Jacks from their own 36-yard line. They're strong, 10 carries, 76 yards today, including a 53-yard touchdown run in the 3rd quarter. Gronowski, quarterback run again. Stays on his feet, finally finished off. After a gain of 6 yards at the 42, will bring up 3rd and 5 again.
The 32nd rushing play of the game for South Dakota State. The Bison, 31s. Both teams with 31 rushes. This game kind of going along as we thought in the pregame show, telling you about, hey, whoever runs this thing the best is probably going to win. Jackson Hankey did a really fine job there of filling the hole, but Gronowski was able to show off a little bit of strength and get that extra 2 or 3 yards.
Gronowski, the leading ball carrier for South Dakota State. 12 rushes, 67 yards. Jackson Yankee in motion to the high side of your screen here on 3rd and 5. Gronowski again going to run. Puts the head down and and
short.
I think he's a yard short at the 46. And now it's decision time for John Stiegelmeier.
Out the same spot on the field where Coach Ince from NDSU went for it. Stig's going for it too.
Strong checks in for Davis. SDSU 2 of 5 on 4th down so far this season.
Bison have to use a timeout. Too many people in there.
Charge timeout, North Dakota State. That's their first. 30 seconds.
Bison went with the big lineup on that 4th down, and Logan McCormick was supposed to check out and didn't know it.
Let's pause for a quick word from Tobolt Seed.
Tobolt Seed, family owned and operated for over 90 years. How do you stay in business that long? Hard work and integrity. Tobolt Seed offers Thunder Seed Enlist soybeans, Roundup Ready to Extend soybeans, Liberty Link GT27 soybeans, and Thunder Seed corn.
Matt Entz has been in a lot of these battles over the years as defensive coordinator under Chris Kleiman. And certainly as head coach, the big 71-yard touchdown run by Adam Cofield on 4th and less than a yard a year ago in Brookings. Yuto Ching in there with Braden Thomas and Spencer Wagey, 4 defensive linemen. And now Davis back in at tailback. Davis gets it. Nope. And he got the first down. Up to the 49, and the Jackrabbits convert.
Buto's still out there kind of arguing a little bit, but the left side of the line, Johnson and McCormick on that left side has been, when it's come crunch time yardage, that's the side that it seems like the Jacks have been going to.
Play clock down to 8. Davis again, cutting to the outside. Good strong running again from the freshman, and he's got a first down, gaining 13 down to the 39 of NDSU.
Jackson Hankey was there, but just couldn't quite square him up. Nodak Insurance Company replay. You see Hankey get back, get in position, and Davis is taking about a step and a half further outside than Hankey was thinking. Another good run to the left side.
Davis up to 63 rushing yards on 11 carries. Strong motions out. Ball thrown on silent. Boy, that was a nice throw there that time by Gronowski. There was a guy in his face and another Bison player out in the flat. Now an NDSU player is down on the far sideline as Strong picks up 9 yards.
Well, this is where the offensive play caller.
For an injured defensive player.
That's Kaiser over there. But you'll see the blitz. Here comes the corner blitz. It must have been something on just how James landed, because there wasn't big contact over there. It's a good job by the Gronowski to get the ball out into the flat. He really extended himself trying to make that tackle and keep Strong from trying to move the corner, but timeout.
South Dakota State moving the football down to the Bison 30, tied at 17, 12:27 to go. Second and 1, 3 tight ends in here for South Dakota State. Davis has another first down. Takes a pretty big hit from Jackson Hankey, but able to pick up 4 more yards down to the 26.
You might have been able to see number 51 out there on that play. He came in. Mason Hofstedt came in when Kaiser went to the sideline.
Keep wondering when they're going to maybe target Jackson Yankee. He has not made a reception today, has not been very involved.
That's number 10.
Might be a spot.
Playing in the slot.
Down here towards the end zone where you take a shot to number 10.
That's the guy Brian's talking about.
Gronowski play action. Dumping it off, and it is caught. As Davis makes the reception again, and 5 more yards on first down to the 21.
Gronowski was going so far and so fast to his left. That's about the only outlet he had. There was one other receiver kind of in the play on that side, but there's no way he could square it up, and that ball barely got caught. It got through the hands, but into the belly of the freshman.
Gronowski now 10 of 14 for 149 yards. And a flag comes out, the Bison pointing. It looked like at who's ever playing the right guard in there.
Number 56.
Egan Lickus. Yep.
5-yard penalty. Second down.
Senior from Indianola, Iowa. Returning starter.
For the Jacks, the Bison 26-yard
You just wiped out your good production on first down. This drive is in the second half. South Dakota State's been pretty good on first down, but now it's 2nd and 10.
Strong gets the carry. He's got an opening. Here's Strong down inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. He comes up a little slow.
Nodak Insurance Company replay. You're going to see number 25 overrun the play just a little bit. There's where you missed the fit. Tutsi a little bit close to his teammate. Strong's able to cut it back into the open field. And Dawson Weber makes the touchdown saving tackle as Strong comes off after that run.
Davis checks in, 1st and goal from the 7.
Remember, Strong did miss a game because of an injury. He might have tweaked it.
Davis taken down. Was able to get back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe lunges ahead.
I thought he got up a little limpy there. Jazir Cox looks like he's trying to walk off a little bit.
Jets may target one of those big tight ends. Zach Hines, the leading pass receiver among that group.
The fade guy is number 10 at the bottom of your screen. They like to throw fades to him too.
Gronowski quarterback run. Patiently waits behind his blocks, and that'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 2.
McCormick, Wagee, Cox in the bottom of that pile.
See what Jason Eck dials up here on 3rd and goal. Gronowski waiting. Wagee giving chase. Gronowski taken down from behind back at the 8-yard line. Wagee continued his pursuit, and it's a sack for the South Dakota native out of Watertown.
Tried to use a little delay here. Now watch all this coming to the right. That's a smoke screen. Nothing's happening there. 87, the bottom of your screen is who he's looking at. And the Bison are able to run it down from the far side.
From on, 24-yard field goal, and another timeout has to be taken. The Bison had
too many men out
there.
It's the second time the Bison have used a timeout for this.
Second charge timeout, 30 seconds.
Boy, you don't want to give those babies away. There's 2 of them that NDSU has given away on personnel.
Whether you're shopping for a new Traeger grill, a mountain bike, or a new Bison hoodie, Shields.com is the way to go. Try
Well, this Bison Fun Fact brought to you by Gate City Bank. We all know fruit is essential to an athlete's diet. NDSU Bison consume more than 3,100 pounds of bananas, and get this, 7,500 pounds of apples per athletic year at the Gate City Bank fueling station inside the shack. It makes me think of Agri-Sciences Department should build their own orchard maybe on campus, huh? 24-yard field goal for Fromm to give SDSU the lead.
Kickers. He hit a 52-yarder in a key spot earlier this year, though.
Fromm boots it up, and it's perfect. And South Dakota State has taken the lead with 7:55 to go as Fromm connects on his second field goal of the day. 20-17 on the Ag Country Farm Credit Services scoreboard. Get back into the swing of things at Shields. They've got the top golf brands and custom club fitting to take your game to the next level, in-store and online at shields.com. Fromm putting South Dakota State ahead 20-17. He'll kick this one away towards Rajon Nelson, and he will just call for the fair catch. And the Bison will start from the 25.
Sure seems like it's predetermined that if it's going to Christian Watson, go ahead and give it a chance, big boy. But if it's going to Nelson, take it from the 25.
Cam Miller, 8 of 12, 140 yards. Nice drive from South Dakota State. John Stiegelmeier's crew out rushing North Dakota State 238-98. A 16-play scoring drive for 70 yards that took over 9 minutes. Quarterback run again for Miller. Stepped out of one tackle there from Griffin and fell ahead to the 30.
Using Watson on the jet motion to try to influence that side of the defense to go with Christian Watson.
And Miller's run the football. He's thrown the football pretty well today. Hunter Luebke running it up in there. Kyle stops at about the 32, and that'll bring up 3rd and 3. Another big third down coming up.
Bison go with power on that second down play.
Bison 3 of 4 on third down in this second half. All 3 tight ends, Stoffel, Babich, and Gindorf to the high side of your screen. They're going to give it to Luebke. Keeps the legs moving, gets across the 35 to the 36, and picks up a first down. And you get the feeling, LT, as this game continues to whittle along with 6.5 minutes, NDSU only 1 timeout. Not sure they can really afford to give the ball back to South Dakota State here.
Probably not. My thought before that snap was if NDSU doesn't get it, I think you better go for it. But they picked it up, running behind Nash Jensen.
Play action. Miller, he's going to air it out for Watson. Batted away. And Gardner did a nice job timing his jump and playing the football.
In the first couple games of the year, the defensive backs from South Dakota State had huge numbers of penalties, pass interference called against him. And when this ball's on its downward trajectory right there, I'm thinking this is going to be another flag. But he did a really good job of playing the ball, getting up in the air, high pointing it, and knocking it down. I thought that had penalty written all over it. And
Miller lost it, and now he's in trouble. Lost 3 yards on the mishandle of the snap, and Bach, the other Solon, Iowa native in the game, took him down.
I wouldn't say it's a mishandle of the snap as much as it was a high snap. This came zinging over his head. Nodak Insurance Company replay. That's a great job just to keep possession of the ball. I mean, it was zipping really hard when it was over his head.
3rd and 13 here for North Dakota State. Three-man rush for the Jacks. Miller throws it. Watson dropped it at the 50.
He's going to have to extend this one. There's Watson jumping the different zones. He gets behind the linebacker. One hand, but not both hands. And it's 4th and long.
And the Bison will punt it away here with 5:13 to go. And they're going to have to find a way to get a stop on the Jacks here in the second half, something they have not done yet.
Watson just keeps working and working across the zones till a window opens.
Wegner will send it down, a little bit shorter of a punt. Yankee will catch it and just dive on it at the 30-yard line. And we will step aside. South Dakota State with the football, a chance to put this thing away, leading by 3. 5 minutes to go here at the Fargo Dome. Gronowski leads the SDSU offense back out on the field. 1st and 10 from the 29. Gronowski's run for 71 yards. He's thrown for 149, and most importantly, no turnovers here today.
He's not done running the ball. I think quarterback run would be on the docket.
Gronowski play action. There he goes. He's got a bit of room up the middle, and Gronowski in Bison territory. Finally wrestled down by Eubanks all the way at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Gronowski had an 80-yarder against Western Illinois earlier this year. Here it's a little bit of a rollout. I honestly don't think he's going to throw the ball at all. I think he wants to turn this one up. As soon as he sees Tutsi clear, safety's out of the way, and the Bison are playing catch-up.
Huge play here for South Dakota State on its opening play of its drive. That one goes for 65 yards. Excuse me, 55 yards on the run. Davis, another good push. Freshman has really been good today running the football. Gain of 6. Let's go to Ryan Gellner on the sidelines.
Just an update on the Bison defense, guys. James Kaiser with his left groin, doubtful to return to action. Another one to watch, though, is Jasir Cox. Cox had some immediate medical attention, that is, on the last drive. Guys, he's going to go for now, but we'll see how long he can go.
All right, thank you so much, Ryan. A First International Bank and Trust sideline report. And the Jackrabbits now inside the Bison 10-yard line at the 9, 2nd and 4. Davis again has a first down to the 5, and it'll be 1st and goal SDSU. And a touchdown here will pretty much do it with 3 minutes to go.
Davis, I think, on that play, Brian, did a really good job. It looks like he's thinking A gap or wider on the left side. He's able to jump back across the backside of his center and sneak in the right A gap and pick up the first.
South Dakota State has now run for 304 yards today on the ground, coming off a 392 performance at SIU last month. Davis into the end zone, touchdown. The Jackrabbits taking control. And the blue and gold faithful that made the trip are fired up.
There you can see the pull, so it's a power play. And a touchdown. Quick score, all on the ground. Of course, the big run there from Gronowski, helping set Davis up to pick up the touchdown.
Fromm adds the extra point. It's a 10-point lead with 2:50 to go. South Dakota State has racked up 458 total yards and has scored on every possession here in the second half.
Yeah, you should be smiling, young man, after getting into the end zone to build that cushion for your team.
Like Davis, these two freshmen have had a really nice day. Gronowski, 16 carries, 126 yards rushing. And Davis, 16 carries, 84 yards rushing, and the touchdown.
True freshman. These
Yeah.
kids were in high school last year.
Yep. And right now, NDSU getting out rushed by over 200 yards on the ground. I can't remember the last time that's ever happened, LT.
Well, maybe in the 3 and 8 year, but we're skipping a decade to get back to that one. So so you're right, it has not happened for an extraordinarily long time.
South Dakota State just 250 away from earning a share of the conference title and the automatic berth into the FCS playoffs, and you'd have to think home field throughout.
I don't know how
for the Jacks.
I don't know how you can take it away from them. Fair catch.
Raja Nelson makes the fair catch at the 2-yard line.
And we'll have a chance to talk about this in the postgame show and all that stuff too, but JMU won today too, so you have to assume that there's home field on one half the bracket.
Bison will have to take some shots down the field here with only one timeout. Miller under pressure. Down he goes. First sack of the day for the Jacks. Tolu Ogurnde got in there along with Caleb Sanders.
Watson was running a deeper cross. He had Babich on a shallower cross, but did not have time to try to hit either guy.
Miller flushed again. Fires on the run. Henderson makes the reception. It's a modest gain of about 4 yards, and a flag comes in.
Holding on Cordell Wilson.
I think it was Ogurnde that was putting the pressure on.
Holding, offense, number 67. That penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal line. Second down.
Ogurnde leading this team in sacks. And an interesting story. A running back slash fullback, put on about 50 pounds when he got here and has played really well.
When you ask Bison coaches who's showing up on tape because they watch more than we do, everyone I talked to mentioned him right there, number 22.
Clock continues to tick. 2nd and 26. Fires it out. It is caught. Tyshawn Gales, big hit on the sidelines there as Raja Nelson, I believe, made the reception.
Village pass complete to number 17, Raja Nelson. Brings up 3rd and 17.
To get the first down, you need to get to the 35, but look at how deep the linebackers are playing. Look at how deep the corners are playing. Everybody is starting, except the 4-down linemen, starting at least 12 yards off the ball.
Pressure coming on Miller again. Pressure still coming, and finally he's tracked down and taken down from behind. Another freshman making a play.
That'll go down as a sack as well because the Bison lost on the play. Look at this 4-down lineman, and they get in there. I mean, the Bison offensive lineman released and then headed downfield. I don't know if that was supposed to be some type of an underpass or a screen or whatever, but it did not develop.
NDSU will go for it here on 4th and 19. Miller fires high, intercepted. Griffin with the pick, and that'll seal it. South Dakota State is going to walk out of here with the Dakota marker and the automatic bid in the FCS playoffs.
And interception number 10 on the extremely short season for South Dakota State.
The Jacks can come out and take a knee. This will also end North Dakota State's 32-game home winning streak. The last loss here at the Dome for the Bison, James Madison in 2016 in the FCS playoffs.
What was that number again? 1,000 how many days?
1,583 days since the Bison have lost here at home. Another amazing streak that will come to an end in this spring season.
One more knee will be needed.
Gronowski takes the knee, and that'll do it. The celebration is on. And here come the Jacks to go get the rock.
Aaron Johnson, Mason McCormick, Wes Gannett, Egan Lickus, and Garrett Greenfield. The 5 offensive linemen who won the game today for South Dakota State.
Well, South Dakota State dominated on the ground. 309 rushing yards compared to just 97 for North Dakota State. And now the Jacks can wait and see who they will host next weekend. As for the Bison, at 6-2, still a decent chance to get a home game next Saturday, but then likely would have to go on the road in the quarterfinals. And they may very well have to go to Brookings.
If I had to guess right now, I think I know which team's going to end up in Brookings. They live about an hour north of here.
That's possible. Gronowski, really the story today. 10 of 14, 149 yards and a touchdown. 16 carries, 126 yards on the ground, including a big 55-yarder that really broke the back of the Bison. And everybody surprised maybe when this guy came out of camp as the starter this spring over 2 guys that had started games before, but you can kind of see now why he got that job.
Well, Heidi and Gibbs had COVID issues at the beginning of spring camp, so they were 2 weeks kind of quarantined, and then that's when Gronowski took over and never looked back. He's been the quarterback since mid-camp.
Ryan Gellner standing by with North Dakota State head coach Matt Entz.
Matt, tough day in the office. You couldn't stop him on the ground.
Yeah, exactly right. You got to play better defense if you're going to win the games like this. We knew they had a dynamic back, couple backs, quarterback run game, and just struggled to get off the field today.
Thought your offense was better, especially throughout the game?
Yep, just needed more opportunities. It'd have been nice to have a couple more series or a couple more chances to score.
Now you wait for the committee, playoffs. Who knows what happens?
Don't know. We'll see. We'll find out if we're worthy of getting a playoff spot.
Appreciate it, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, upstairs.
All right, thanks so much. Ryan and South Dakota State, good reason to celebrate. John Sigelmeyer ran over to talk to Christian Watson real quick, all the way on the Bison sideline before he runs and celebrates with his team. These two teams may not like each other a lot. I do think there's mutual respect for one another.
A ton of respect. Absolutely, there's no question.
That's the regular season finale. South Dakota State 5-1. The Bison falling to 5-2. 27-17 is the final, as they take turns hoisting the 75-pound Dakota marker over on the Jackrabbits sideline. We're back after this. Well, the two teams giving each other some handshakes. You see the South Dakota native Ching. His dad, Jeff, played at SDSU.
And Castlewood, where Costner's from, is not that far from Brookings at all.
No, it isn't. And
it's right there. Yep.
And, and Costner came in as a fullback and made the transition. And, he really wanted this game bad. And his dad, I was kind of swapping some messages with him, too. And he goes, I was a Jackrabbit. I'm kind of a Bison guy now. But big win for South Dakota State here today. The Jacks certainly deserved it, winning 27-17. Brian Shawn, Lee Timmerman back with you. And, ultimately, LT, we said pregame even into this contest, whoever wins at the line of scrimmage likely will win. The Jacks did that, I thought, on both ends.
Certainly. That's why when the team was running over to get the rock, I wanted to mention one more time those 5 guys that have been the stalwarts on the offensive line. And that's one thing that Coach Eck has done a little bit different, too. They've settled on 5 guys. When he was down on the field, he's up in the booth now calling plays. He was saying that I had a tendency to get a little too fired up, a little too emotional, saying, hey, you going for so-and-so, or you going for so-and-so, or we had these play packages. But no, they settled on these 5 guys, and judging by what we saw today and judging by the numbers of the last time they were on the field, oh my goodness, it's working.
Yeah, and NDSU just defensively never really got its footing, never really was off balanced, I would guess, most of the day. There's a lot of different running packages and schemes and different backs carrying the ball, too.
And the Bison caught themselves a couple of times in personnel shifts when you have this package coming on and then there's an extra guy. We saw once where Logan McCormick looked around and went, oh, no, I'm not supposed to be in here, and it cost you a timeout. Did it cost him the game? No, but I think it speaks a little bit to what you're talking about, how just not quite on the same page all the time.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the second half. And North Dakota State tried to get the running game going. Lukey kind of held in check today. I think both teams kind of settled in a little bit defensively. Gronowski was sacked 3 times today. Dawson Weber coming on the corner blitz that time. And then Cam Miller got a couple of touchdown runs. This was his first. That's tied the game. And then the Jacks came back. It was really seesaw there for a while.
Yeah, there's Miller again on the same play. Just another angle of that, getting into the end zone and scoring, and the Bison trying to get things there. And NDSU had some answers to the Jacks, but this one, I think, in the context of everything, really hurt NDSU when Strong is able to get it all the way into the end zone. Tutsi was a little bit late on a tackle, and hey, if you're not in the right spot at the right time, good players, and he is good. Matt Entz did not say by accident that number 20 is the best running back in the FCS.
Jacks had the lead. Miller again. The Bison go down the field, pick up some big third downs. He runs in his second of the day from 2 yards out. We're tied again at 17. And then South Dakota State was able to move down the field and get in field goal range on a 16-play grinder, really wore the defense down.
Yeah, and here's Strong again on a nice little cut up right up the middle. Again, your safety got caught in a little bit out of position. The Jackrabbits with that field goal able to pick up the lead once again.
Fromm able to add that field goal from 24 yards out, and the Jacks would have the lead for good after that field goal. And then Davis putting on the finishing touches, another strong drive on the ground. Gronowski really set that up with a 55-yard scamper.
And the left side of that offensive line, I think, was the dominant side. It was the preferred side, and that's where you look at that top number on the left side, over 300 yards rushing. Oof.
Jacks came in averaging 220. The Bison also came in averaging 220. Those stat report sponsored by the North Dakota Certified Seed Producers. 23 first downs also for SDSU, overcoming the 8 penalties compared to just 1 for NDSU. Ryan Gellner is on the sideline, standing by with one of the junior linebackers that has played a lot of football in North Dakota State, and that is Jackson Hankey.
He has, guys, and Jackson, we talked about, you've played a lot of football here, and often this feeling doesn't come for somebody like you. These are hard to swallow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it really sucks. Unfortunately, we've been incredibly blessed here to not have to lose a lot of football games, and this one of all of them hurts pretty bad.
What was the difference today? Obviously, they were able to run the football at will. What was the difference today?
Well, unfortunately, we just failed to execute. I mean, there was a countless number of plays during the game where, you know, there was 1 or 2 guys screwing up. We just need to play better, execute better. I need to play much better and execute much better. I mean, that's really as simple as it is.
I think the good news is that you'll wake up tomorrow and likely you'll have more football to play this year. The playoff seeds get announced tomorrow, and I assume you look forward to that and try to reset this thing as fast as you can.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that's an assumption. I hope it's true. And if that's the case, we need to improve, and we just need to play better. We need to grow and mature as a football team, and be ready for who we play. And we got to scrap and fight our way to accomplish whatever it is that we can.
I know it's not easy, but I do appreciate the time, and thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll have you hand the microphone off to Cam Miller. And guys, we'll just keep going here. Cam Miller, the Bison quarterback, came in on that second possession and played pretty well. Cam, talk about this football game a little bit. I know it didn't end the way you wanted it to end, but offensively it seemed to get better throughout the game as you got more comfortable.
I felt more comfortable as the game went along. I thought we did some really good things on offense, left some plays out there, but, I just want to tip my cap to South Dakota State. I thought they played a hell of a game. Today they were the better team, but, we would like another shot at them, and, I thought our offensive line did a good job. I thought some of our playmakers made plays. We just got to continue to get better this week.
Talk more about the football game. In particular, when you got things going, you were able to hit some passes, which Bison fans haven't seen before, and then finish the deal with your legs. It's kind of your game, though, isn't it?
Yep. If I'm getting any sort of pressure, I'm still keeping my eyes up, but I'm trying to make a play with my feet. I feel like it's worked for me over the years, so I don't know why I would go away from it. I don't know. I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to continue to get better each and every week.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow as the playoff field is announced. Likely not going to be here for all the playoff games, but you can't control any of that. What you can control is if there is a next game, being ready for that game. So how quickly can you turn the page from this one to whatever's next?
Right now, I feel like we're going to look at the film tomorrow and we're going to change some things up, but we're still going to stick to Bison football. That's not going to ever change. But we're going to turn the page, and once we find out who we're going to play, we're just focused on them. And then it's week by week. It's win in advance. So
I like the attitude. Cam Miller is the Nodak Insurance player of the football game. Appreciate the time. I know these aren't easy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Guys, back upstairs.
All right, thanks so much, Ryan. Thanks so much, Cam. Thanks, Jackson. I mean, obviously it's disappointing, LT, how this thing shook out for them. I mean, when you get beat, you get beat, and they got flat out got beat today.
They certainly did, and I just think the Bison kind of struggled today to get the ball a lot into your playmakers' hands. I mean, the tight end group had one reception today. Christian Watson had, 2 catches, I believe, and ran the ball 3 times. And so when that tight end group remains silent, I think it just disrupts the entire flow of the offense. Even though Hunter Luepke had 14 carries, Cam rushed the ball 15 times. But he's right. It just didn't really roll.
And this is a big one, I think, too. Preston Tetzlaff is a guy that this made me extra special to. His dad played at South Dakota State. He is not coming back in the fall. He is going to law school next year. So this is a guy that goes out on top, I guess, in his eyes. Certainly they have bigger goals to fulfill in the playoffs, but for him, certainly getting this game before he leaves the program was a big one as well.
Yeah, I think he's the one guy on that South Dakota State roster that's not coming back for the fall.
All right, let's step aside. We'll take a break and be back to talk more about this one and find out kind of what's next. Maybe look at some playoff scenarios here.
It's coming up fast. It's next week.
27-17 the final. South Dakota State hoisting the rock. Well, the Jackrabbits are still celebrating here on the Fargo Dome turf. Everybody else is pretty much vacated except for some of the players that are still taking some pictures.
They should be.
And celebrating this one. Hey, North Dakota State had won 9 straight Missouri Valley Conference crowns. That ends today. The Bison will not win the Valley Conference title for the first time in almost a decade. And that ends the streak. It was the 4th longest, tied with Florida State for Division I for consecutive conference titles. Again, with all this stuff that has happened from the fall to the spring, you try not to put too much weight on it, but there's a lot of streaks that ended today.
That ended this year. I mean, Of course, the big long one, and now this home winning streak. And I was trying to do a little digging and see when's the last time that NDSU had 2 guys rush for 100 yards against them, and that was back in 2015. Trey Roberson and Marshawn Coppridge.
Championship game.
Yes, that's the last time that happened. But the Bison ended up winning that game.
Yeah, they did in thrilling fashion. Carson Wentz's, of course, last-minute touchdown run in that. Looking at the standings in the Valley, looking at the scoreboard in the Valley, you kind of have a decent idea of where things go, so to speak. Southern Louisiana And Southern Illinois scheduled this game today. SIU still hoping they could get in at 5-3. I'm not sure how realistic that is.
That's going to happen. Yeah.
North Dakota, their game against Youngstown canceled. So North Dakota
by
will
Youngstown, not COVID related.
Right.
We'll just throw that out there.
Didn't play. So UND, also part of the conference, share of the conference title, will be in the playoff field somewhere. Likely will host as well coming up next weekend. And then the top overall seed will likely be James Madison. JMU coming up with a 23-6 victory over Richmond today to remain undefeated. And Sam Houston will also likely be one of the top 4 seeds somewhere after finishing off Incarnate Word today in convincing fashion, 42-14. So there's a decent chance that JMU and Sam Houston may actually be the top 2 seeds. The Jackrabbits will be in the conversation for 2, 3, or 4. It just kind of depends on how everything shakes out.
And sometimes I don't ever want to be on the committee, ever. But it depends sometimes, I think, how you want to try and balance, if there's such a thing, each side of the bracket.
Yeah, and again, there's a good chance that there's going to be valley-on-valley matchups at some point in this playoff, whether it's NDSU, UND, SDSU, whatever it is. Yep. That's likely coming up as well. When you look back at North Dakota State's schedule, which, again, started back in October, technically, with the win over Central Arkansas, but just here in the spring, ebbs and flows, consistency, inconsistency from time to time. I think you saw some players grow, but you could also see this team that is still trying to find itself and its identity a little bit of what they're trying to be.
Well, when you have a team this young, and there's a lot of things, those games that you weren't with us when Kyle and I talked a lot about that early in the year, this team that was just, so young, you're going to have that. And, you've played that many games, but a freshman is still a freshman this deep into it. And when you have that many young players, you're going to have it. The 2 games that you see the losses on there, they weren't fluky losses. The other team played better. Mm-hmm. They were better on that day. Southern was better in that first road game of the year. Today, South Dakota State was just better. And I think Jackson Hankey is a perfect guy to talk with after this, because he put it in perspective. We got beat. We're going to move on. Hopefully we'll be in the playoffs.
6-2 is the final in the regular season record for North Dakota State. The Jacks finishing 5-1 as we await the playoff matchups announced tomorrow morning at 10:30. We will step aside and be back to wrap things up from here at the Fargo Dome. North Dakota State, regular season here in the spring in the books. The Jacks excited about the future and certainly excited about what happened today. We're back to wrap it up in a minute. I'm not sure when the Jacks will ever leave this building. I'm going to have to turn off the lights on them at some point. Still hanging out, still taking photos, still celebrating. 27-17 is the final for South Dakota State to finish this spring 5-1 and earn a share of the Missouri Valley Conference title. And, LT, the last 13 months have been so weird, and we weren't sure if anything was going to get back to any sort of normalcy when they decided to move this fall season to the spring. Still weren't even sure if that was going to happen. How was it going to go? How would you characterize it after, missing the fall and playing this spring?
The word I used repeatedly was strange. I just kept going, this is strange. Everything is strange. I mean, the game we were supposed to play in Vermilion, you guys never even made it to Vermilion, never made it out of Sioux Falls where you stayed over. I walked into the building, and 3 minutes later, someone said the game is canceled. I'm like, ha, ha, ha. They're like, no, I mean it. What? Yeah. So, I mean, just how strange was that day? And this whole thing was just strange. A stat that pops into my head when you think about NDSU and you think about the course, and we saw it play out again here today. The Bison didn't stop one team once inside the red zone defensively. South Dakota State was 3 of 3 again today. I think they were 15 of 15 coming in. Mm-hmm. How strange is that? So to me, I just keep going back to strange. What's your word?
Yeah, it's surreal is the word I use. Sometimes I still can't believe I'm here in April calling an NDSU SDSU game that counts in a regular season standings.
As much as this one did.
And that we're going to be talking about playoffs in May, and then we're going to be doing it again in like 3 or 4 months. I don't even know how I would describe it. No, I think the other part of it too, LT, is Jackson Hankey brought this up back in August when we talked to him about it, and the season was canceled, and they were going to move this thing to spring. I think everybody would have liked to have seen what team they would have had in the fall. And I think the Jackrabbits fall into that category too. They don't have Cade Johnson. Well, obviously Trey Lance is gone. Some other guys, Dylan Radens moves on. Illinois State had a bunch of guys bolt either go pro or for the transfer portal or whatever. It's just one of those things where it's hard. You got to focus ahead and not what's been left behind. But I'll always kind of wonder what 19 or in 20
could have
into
been.
20 could have been.
I mean, Josh Hayes.
Yeah, another one.
Just during the season, if that happened, I mean, that doesn't happen in the fall. None of this happens in the fall, so it's just so crazy that all of this happens and it's still rolling. I mean, you talk about football playoffs. The NAI, if you follow NAI,
yeah, they're
football,
playing too.
They played playoff games today.
Yeah.
Dickinson State went 5 months between playing a game, and the game that they played in the spring was the playoff game because they won all 9 of their games last fall. So, again, I just go back to weird, strange, and go like this a bunch.
Well, it's our final telecast of Bison football here in this spring. We're glad we can bring it to you all across the KVOY, KFYR Bison Television Network. So many people to thank that have worked so hard to make this happen. All the people, all the men and women behind the scenes that put in a lot of time for this. We certainly appreciate all those folks that you don't see. Our producer, Westis Jardins, Sean Kelly, our director. There's so many people on the cameras that swap in and out of different roles, and we appreciate every single one of them. And LT, it's been a fun ride. It's been weird, but I've enjoyed it, partner. I'm glad we got it in anyway.
We got in as many as we could, and there were times when we didn't think we'd get any in. So yeah, the fact that we've gotten this far is wonderful.
Well, for Lee Timmerman, Beth Houle, Kyle Emanuel, Devin Fry, and the entire crew that has been so proud to bring these games to you statewide all spring, I'm Brian Shawn, saying so long from the Fargo Dome. South Dakota State is hoisting the rock. Have a great Saturday, everybody, and let's look forward to the playoffs.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.